Continuous learning and continuous development is a path of continuous growth. In this video, we are going to see how you can expedite your learning curve, how you can take that trajectory of learning to next level in a fast way. So let's see those things. So when it comes to the learning, there are three things: types of learners, types of learning method, and learning flow. So let's see, the first one is types of learner. First type of learner is a passive learner. When it comes to the passive learning, that means you will be in that teacher and receiver mode where your teacher is talking and you are receiving that information. And while receiving that information, you don't have any authority to cross question and validate that information. That is completely passive mode of learning. So one very good example, suppose you are learning by watching some video. It is one of the passive mode of learning where you are not questioning that information. Coming to the second type of learner, that is active learner. When you are in an active learning mode, you are cross-questioning to that person. You are asking the right question, you are validating that information, and it will be a two-way flow. So that is a part of active learners. Coming to the third type, that is action learner. When you are in a action learners mode, you go and perform that task. You perform that learning in terms of your laboratory assignment, your program, and at the same time you validate those results practically. That is something your action learner mode. In your action learning mode, you may fail and you get some wrong results. So again, you go and try to solve that problem to get the expected results. So that way you learn by taking the action. So that is what third form of learning, that is action learner. This is all about types of learner. Now moving to the types of learning method. First one is reading. When you read any book and when you try to gain that information and knowledge via reading, you consume only 10% of that information after completing that reading. Coming to the second form of learning, that is hearing. When you go and attend that lecture and hear that, after completing that lecture, you consume only 20% of information what you hear from that lecture. Coming to the third form of learning, that is visualization. When you see that picture, when you experience the context of whatever being taught to you, you learn in a far better way and you consume almost 30% of information via that kind of learning. Coming to the fourth type of learning, where you are visualizing and hearing, and that is most effective way of learning, and you end up consuming almost 50% of information which is being taught to you. Coming to the next form of learning, that is via practice, by taking action. When you go and perform that lab assignment, you learn it in a far better way. Moving on to the next form of learning, that is via teaching. When you learn all these things, when you practice it, when you implement it, and after that, when you try to teach those learning to someone, you consume most of the information as part of that learning process. You end up consuming 90% of learnings from that method. These are the ways by which you can learn. So let's see something about your learning flow. First one is about staying updated. When you want to consume that information and your learning flow, you join some community, you answer some queries on some public platform. That way you will be more updated, you will be sharing your knowledge via some community. That is the one way by which you will be updated about that topic. This is first thing, staying updated. Coming to the next form of learning flow, that is about teaching. So as part of the teaching, you help others, you groom others, you mentor them, and that is one of the best form of learning flow. Coming to the next one is about implementation. Part of the implementation, you go and give the competitions, exams, certification. You will be actively involved in some project assignment, workshop, collaborative learning and lessons where you will be sharing your knowledge with someone, and that way you will be seeing the more practical results of your learning. That is about learning via implementation. Moving on to the next learning is via practice learning. When it comes to the practice learning, you perform those assignments, you do some mini project, and after having that learning, you go and implement it into the actual project. So that is what practice learning. Coming to the next form of learning is learn by yourself. And as part of the learn by yourself, you explore different kinds of books, reading material, video trainings, YouTube trainings, and that's where you spend lots of time because you are not sure whether that training is really helpful and it will give you that necessary information. So this is also one of the best way to learn, but again it is more time consuming. And now coming to the final type of learning flow where you learn from some expert. And what is the advantage of learning from expert is that you gain the velocity in your learning curve. Another big advantage when it comes to learning from the expert is that that person knows the practical secrets. That is where learning from the expert is the highest form of the learning where you can expedite your learning curve. This is all about how to learn fast, and the best form of learning is to learn from the expert. I have attached learning goal template. Please download it, and once you open it, you will get it something like this. What you need to do after opening it, you need to specify your learning goals and how you are planning to learn. So give that method, means you want to learn by yourself or from expert. Then also you can specify the name of the tutor and the course and your start date to that learning goal and end date. And if there is any certification you are planning, so specify that certification name and end date of completion of that certification. Please specify all these possible learning goals in this template so that you will have that concrete plan to achieve your learning goals. Please fill up that learning goal Excel sheet, and once you complete it, please mark completed in the comment section before moving to the next.